lowering the shoulder.
Swing and a miss.
McGinley scores!
And it's going to be a challenge for us. I mean, they're a really talented football team. I think everybody knows that.
Four wide receivers. Pressure. Steps up. Marshall wants to run again. Cuts down the middle of the field. All alone. Touchdown! Warriors! What a cut.
Welcome back to Renaissance High School. A full, very exciting day of basketball wraps up with a fun matchup. Two talented teams coming up. Roseville taking on the Phoenix of Renaissance, who have about as much young talent as any team as you'll find in our great state of Michigan. One more game to go. Let's do it. Evan Stick alongside the rest of the crew. Stick, I'm excited to watch Renaissance. They love talking about their young talent. Jordan Sigmund is one of the best sophomores in America. And Roseville has been hampered by injuries, so they're only 1-3. But all their losses are by single digits, so we should have a good game tonight.
Yeah, and it's tough to tell what they actually are without all of their starters on the floor at all times. So we'll get a good look at that tonight. And if this is anything like the first two games today, I'm all in. I'm ready to go. This has been a great day of basketball. Thank you to the PSL for having us here and for letting us witness such great basketball as we get it underway here at Renaissance.
Here's your starting five for Roseville, highlighted by Anthony Scott, right side of your screen, number 15, who just won the tap. Great player on the football team. First shot of the game, no good for Jalen Mosley. The follow is no good for Payne. They're still fighting down there, and Herman Wren has the first basket of the ball game for Roseville.
Yeah, you see Roseville just crashing the glass. They're getting, multiple 3 offensive rebounds on one possession.
And then for Renaissance, led by Jordan Sigmund, who misses his first shot of the game. Sophomore, junior, freshman in the starting five. But they're a confident bunch. Wren, a confident start, 5-0 in a flash for Roseville.
Yeah, sometimes when you see that ball go in early on an easy shot, it makes those long shots just fall a little bit faster.
Lance Stone, their junior point guard, who they call the older brother of the team. Rainbow three is good for Jaden Miller.
My goodness, that did bring rain with it. We had a couple shots last game, some flat three-pointers. That does not fall in that category.
Travel as Mosley caught the ball. We're going to see this pressure a lot from Renaissance tonight, Stick. This is what they're known for.
And that seems to be a trend about all the winning teams today. They applied pressure and had great defense.
Starting five for Renaissance: Phelps, Sigmund, Miller, Stone, and L.A. Gales. 6'5" freshmen who they think very highly. Fall away Jay, no good for Stone. And there's Anthony Scott with a rebound.
Yeah, it's always fun to watch these games in the first quarter. Both these teams feeling each other out and really looking to see who's going to be the man in this game.
First two games of the day were wild. Scott down low, the floater, and he gets the roll. Two-way starter, Anthony was on the football team. Linebacker and tight end. He's going to go play football at Grand Valley. He has a force on the basketball court, though, too.
Yeah, you can tell. He's just got that size, that speed, and the athleticism.
Mosley, the athleticism. And all of a sudden, Roseville has built a pretty good lead here in the first quarter.
Yeah, 9-3, and with a lot of breakaway hoops and a good, quick timeout by Renaissance in their own home court.
Our first time out of the ball game, we'll take the break with them. Just over 2 minutes into the first quarter, Roseville has come on the road and made a little noise early.
Take a look at us right now. We are everything that will be. We are an engine of progress that has been forged by generations, driven by the knowledge that each student in every classroom has the potential to be their best self and inspire us all. We are teachers, parents, families, all ready to do our part. We know when students rise, we all rise. We are Detroit Public Schools Community District.
Back at Renaissance High School, where the home team has struggled early in this game. Off the inbound, we do get a foul on Roseville, which helps out Renaissance a little bit, but sleepy start, Stick, for the home team, and Roseville off to a pretty good start a couple of minutes in.
Yeah, 9 points in a hurry, but if if any game can give us an example of it really doesn't matter what you do in the first quarter. Being up 30-7 wasn't enough.
We have had a wild day of basketball. Sigmund driving and kicking. Now Phelps took too many steps.
Yeah, and good defense. Way to close down on the baseline, causing Phelps there to lift his pivot foot, kind of drag it a little bit, and the officials called it. Which, once again, always got to show respect to the officials and appreciate the job that they do here in the MHSAA.
Officials have worked hard all day. It's been a wild day. Our first game, Southeastern was down by 15 points in the second half, came back and won. In our second game, Western was down by 24 in the second half and came back and won. Follow, good for Roseville. That's Jenkins. Apparently the theme of the day is fall behind, no problem. So maybe Renaissance should feel good right now?
I think they've been watching it, and they're like, listen, guys, we do not want the lead early.
It's just bad news.
Yep.
Sigmund fouled on an aggressive take to the rack.
Yeah, he's one of those guys, he doesn't look like he's very big and strong, but you saw it there in midair, taking a hit to the body and still able to keep his composure.
Sigmund's one of those guys, when you watch him play, just looks different. Not a lot of dudes can split doubles and get inside like that. One of the more highly recruited sophomores in America. Already holds a bunch of Power 5 offers. Alabama, LSU have offered Jordan. Coaching staff raves about him, says he's a great young man, but the key for him, Stick, going to be his defense. They say that's what's going to take him to the next level, and hopefully for Jordan's sake, the next level after that.
Yeah, and that's one thing you got to love about basketball. Sometimes basketball, the eyeball test will fool you. You look at a guy, you're like, oh my God, that guy can play basketball. Other times, guys of smaller stature become the best players, and you can't really figure out why. They just have that innate nature to find open men and make the right play.
Sigmund missed both free throws, though. Leading the ball for Roseville. They no longer have the ball. That's a travel.
Now, we witnessed a lot of zone today in both games that were earlier. This game seems to be a pretty much straight-up man-to-man, one-on-one matchup, so it's going to be fun to watch these matchups and how they play out throughout the game.
Still very early stages of our final game of a full day. Sigmund, nice drive and kick. Corner three off Jackson. Rebound Roseville. Mosley getting downhill. No good on the tough floater. Look at the rebound for Scott down there. Now Jenkins. Count it. And one.
You know what I really like about that play is Scott. A lot of big men, when they get their hands on that rebound down low, it's like, okay, I got to shoot it. I got to put it back up. But what did he do? He found his slasher and was able to get a much better look at the hoop. So good play by the big man.
How about Roseville, huh? Walk it in on the road. These boys aren't scared early on. Missed the free throw, though. All right, let's see what the counterpunch is for Renaissance. Sigmund again. Early on, he can get downhill whenever the heck he wants to.
Yeah, he's showing it. And once again, his strength showing there, too, because he's probably out-pounded by the guy that's defending him by, what, maybe 15, 20 pounds, and he's able to use his body to get in front of him and get to the hoop again.
I just have to point out as well the shoes that Jordan Sigmund is wearing. He's wearing the reverse Grinches, red with the green shoelaces. Those came out on the sneakers app last week. Apparently he won the raffle because I didn't win the raffle, and I'm very, very jealous.
You know, just once I want to hear shout out to the guy in the awesome New Balances.
Ha! There's nothing wrong with New Balance. If they're good enough for Kawhi, they're good enough for all of us.
All the dads in the audience are like, yeah!
There they are.
There they are. Those are sweet shoes.
Look at those things. They look even cooler in person. I may just have to pull the trigger and bite the bullet and pay resale. Stone, three from a mile away.
Yeah, and that's what he can do. He can come off those screens, turn. Mosley wearing number 2 today. His dad came up here and talked to us that last year. Was it Mosley?
That would be Malachi
Sigmund?
Jackson.
Malachi Jackson. I'm sorry about that. That's number 2.
How did all those guys on the bench get those shoes? What is going on, man? Sigmund, blocking foul. Herman Wren, the blocking foul.
Yeah, Malachi Jackson's dad. That's who it was. Came up here. Last time we had a roster that wasn't exactly right with the names matching up to the jersey, and he had a pretty good game, 10 points, but we kept calling out somebody else's name when he scored. So shout out to Malachi Jackson and his entire family watching on the Prep.
And seriously, thank you to anyone who's watched, whether it be just this game or all the coverage the last couple of days. A lot of great high school hoops coming up on the Prep all winter into March when things start getting real and teams start playing for state championships. So thanks for your support the last couple of days. Thanks for all your support going forward. Like, follow, subscribe, the whole deal. We appreciate you.
Mr. Jackson had some nice shoes on, too, when he came to talk to us.
Yeah, he had the Jordan 3 Nick version. Scott's been pretty darn good down low today, Stick, but that was a turnover trying to find Ren.
Yeah, Scott, really, when you look at the court right now, and, we're pretty high up here at Renaissance, he is really by far the biggest, most formidable player on the court, and you're wondering when he's going to submit his will down low.
That's where we are. Hi, we're up on the track.
Oh, hello.
I love this view. I wish I could call every basketball game from above the floor.
It is nice.
It's tough when you're on the floor to see if it's actually a 3 or not. I love doing games during COVID where you couldn't call games on the floor and you'd call games from up in the rafters, up in the stands because no one was in the stands. I loved it. I love calling basketball games from above.
For the Crews, are you guys back on the floor now?
No,
or are you still up top?
No, I love being up top. I don't want them to move us. Watch they move us, just to spite me. Man, this defense from Renaissance has really turned up the gas the last couple of minutes.
Told you, they didn't want the lead early, and now they're coming back. They were like, you know what, a 10-point lead is all we're willing to give up. Then we're going to start playing basketball.
Just spot them 10, and we'll get cranking.
Well, so far, a good matchup between these two teams, and like I said, them playing man-to-man defense, we're going to get some good individual matchups as well. That's
Mosley floater good, and he just picked up a foul on Jordan Sigmund as well.
Yeah, Mosley and Sigmund, they are going to be fun to watch today.
6'2" senior Jalen Mosley through contact, and the floater was home.
Yeah, you see how he squared up his shoulders to the rim? A lot of players, when they're fading away, their shoulders kind of fade with them, but when he squared up like that, it gave himself a much better balanced shot.
It's now 5 for Jalen Mosley and back up to a 4-point lead for Roseville.
Now a press for Roseville.
Renaissance breaks it. Here comes some more pressure and a foul.
Yeah, just a little too aggressive coming over there on the trap. You really just want to close out space. You don't really want to be reaching. You just want the defender or the offensive player to feel his space closing in on him. Because when you get him in that corner, you essentially have 4 defenders with the out-of-bounds line and the half-court line.
They called the foul on Ryan Davis. Here's Malachi Jackson, who is also wearing very cool sneakers. He is wearing the special version of the black Kobe's, the Mambacitas is what they're called.
You are well-versed in your shoes, my friend.
Well, if they're going to keep wearing cool shoes, I mean, what am I supposed to not notice them? They bought them to be noticed. Come on now.
I notice them. I just don't know what they're called.
That's why I'm here. One more pass into the corner. Jackson looks good, on his feet, and shooting the 3.
He takes the lead, too, for Renaissance for the first time.
They were down by 10, no problems. Jackson all over the floor. Scott got it for 2.
Yeah, that's the tough part. Whenever you're falling out of bounds, you never really want to throw the ball to the middle of the floor.
Wide open Miller. Got it again.
Yeah, 31 with the back screen there is really what made that play open up for Miller because his defender couldn't get to him in time.
Roseville back up the floor in a flash, but they lost the ball. Miller missed the layup. Follow good for Stone. it was 13-3 Roseville. Now Renaissance is up by 4. Another nice pass. Up and down we go. Scott's got 6 points.
They could have called a illegal inbound there. Both players were out of bounds passing it to each other.
They never call that.
I know, but they could have.
Almost called backcourt there. It was tipped. And now a foul on Stone.
Yeah, just a little bit of a reach there and got caught trying to pick the pocket of number 11 Stone as he heads to the free throw line. They're going to be shooting 2 free throws the rest of the way here. 5 team fouls now on Roseville.
We were talking earlier how Lance Stone, as the junior, is considered the older brother, the elder statesman of the team. Part of the reason is it's a super young Renaissance team. They have 1 senior on the roster. But also it's because Lance's dad, currently on the coaching staff at Eastern Michigan, used to be the coach at Rouge, former assistant at Ohio State. He's one of those classic coach's sons who kind of gets it before everybody else, you know?
Yeah, those kids that can just think the game before it happens. And, you know, you see that a lot with coaches' sons.
Stone helped to create the steal. Now Lance ahead of the pack. Ooh, and a nice finish.
Yeah, I love the reverse layup there, using the rim to protect against the shot blocker.
Open 3. Mosley, no. Rebound. Davis up. Short. Renaissance. Rebound. Amidst 3 bodies. A travel.
Now the officials are letting them be physical out there. But that's what I was talking about. None of those guys reached. They just kept closing in the space till the guy on offense has to either put the ball down, travel, or make an errant pass. With Scott out of the game, it's going to be interesting to see where Roseville goes.
Jordan Sigmund's been out of the game for a while as well for Renaissance. Missed the first shot down deep. The follow good for Ren. Ahead of the pack. Phelps stepped out of bounds. Still 1 second on the clock. That ends a first quarter that had a lot of everything. Renaissance was down by 10. Now they're up by 4. 48 combined points in that first quarter. How about it? Lowering the shoulder.
Swing and a miss. McGinley scores!
And it's going to be a challenge for us. I mean, they're a really talented football team. I think everybody knows that.
4 wide receivers. Pressure, steps up. Marshall wants to run again. Cuts down the middle of the field. All alone. Touchdown! Warriors! What a cut.
Greg Bowler, in his 3rd year as the head coach at Roseville, already had a bunch of success. A lot of coaching tradition, a lot of history in his back pocket. 3rd different head coaching stop. Also used to be an assistant at Michigan Dearborn and King. Played some college ball at Benedict College down in South Carolina. They're really building a nice coaching tradition and athletic program at Roseville. Bernard Snowden's built a really good football program at Roseville. They won a couple of district titles in the last few years. And now Greg Boulder is trying to get his team there, stick, and we saw the talent they've got on display in that first quarter. Jackson, deep shot, he knocked down another one.
Glad we got his name right in this game because he's already putting on a show.
I got Stone for the foul there. Malachi Jackson, number 2 in white. 8 points already.
And some solid defensive play to go with it. They're just a little bit of an aggressive foul by Stone. He's a pest on defense, though.
Yes, he is. Largest lead of the game for Renaissance. Scott's back in the game for Roseville. Turnover for the Panthers. Jackson in trouble back there, and John White forced to burn a timeout.
That's a good timeout because that was looking to be a turnover and potentially a 10-second count. So a good timeout.
How impressive, by the way, has this been for Renaissance and what they've done after being down by 10 without Jordan Sigmund? The guy leading the charge, their head coach, John White. Bunch of years under John White for the Renaissance Phoenix. What a fascinating resume. Went to Bishop Borges High, used to coach under Nate Oates at Romulus before Nate went on to go on to do those great things with Buffalo and now Alabama. John White played pro ball here in the States, in Mexico, and Australia, 5 different leagues in 6 years. But here's the fact about Coach White that is wild to me. He has 14 siblings.
Oh my goodness.
I asked him, be honest, how do you remember all their names? He's like, I don't know, you get used to it. That's wild.
I mean, that's pretty impressive. My dad had 6, and I thought that was a lot. 14.
Here he's not going to be happy. A steal for Payne, then Phelps took it away. What effort. Jackson, give up. Gales, wave it off. We got to travel.
Oh, man, he was gathering his feet, ready to go up with it. Second thought on the bobble. It gets called for the travel. That was a good possession by the Phoenix there with a nice steal and getting it down low.
Sigmund's back in, by the way, for Renaissance. Their best player, number 3, was out, and they grew the lead. Wren. No. Through a bunch of contact. Phoenix leaking out. Alfonso Harris. No whistle there. But Jenkins was out of bounds. This will stay with Renaissance.
Yeah, you like that defense by Gales on the other end for Renaissance, and he's only a freshman, number 23. Look at the body on this kid as a freshman, and great hair to go with it.
Seriously, that is amazing. Stone off the inbound, another 3, that's down.
And that's 2 3-pointers for him, both coming off that little down pick off an inbound play. So they draw it up for him, and he delivers.
A 20-point swing. Renaissance was down by 10 in the first quarter. Now they're up by 10 early in the second quarter.
See, it's all a part of that strategy today. You do not want the early lead in these games.
Mosley, nice drive.
Nice little up and under by Mosley there.
Sigmund, drive, kick, wide open, 3, no. Rebound to Roseville. Payne finds the open man. Mosley. Rebound. Roseville somehow down there. I mean, Scott is just a menace on the boards.
It's that football background, you know. A lot of people think sometimes you should only be a one-sport athlete, but you see it all the time. Guys that play multiple sports have multiple skill sets.
Stone missed the open 3, but Jackson got it and found a cutting Sigmund.
And that's where Sigmund's just so smart. A lot of guys are lazy when the ball's not in their hands. He's always looking to cut, get to the rim, and luckily there they found him.
Now 8 for Sigmund. Roseville missed it on the other end with Jenkins. Renaissance gonna run. Sigmund, oh man. Harris wasn't expecting the pass.
I believe Harris was expecting the pass. He was calling for it, and when it hit his hands, it looked like he was just, oh my goodness, it actually came to me. But yeah, if you replay it, you can see him. He's calling for it, and then next thing you know, off the fingertips.
And I love Sigmund's reaction. He's like, oh man, I gave it to you. What the heck? That's funny.
Harris, another freshman.
Still an 8-point lead for Renaissance. Ooh, somehow saved by Jenkins. Got to get over the timeline, though. They just did. And then they turned it over. Stone. You know, Renaissance just wants to run all the time, and sometimes you're going to get turnovers like that.
And, you know, that's okay. The Phoenix Suns used to be that way. They used to lead the league in turnovers, but they also would lead the league in assists, too, because they get out running like that. So as long as they're aggressive turnovers, you're okay with them.
You'll take that steal for Stone, too. Here they go. Phelps on the run. Locked out of bounds.
They do keep the pressure on.
There's a reason why so many Renaissance games are like 90 to 85.
Well, you like it. I mean, as soon as Stone came down with that ball, the first thing he did was look up court to see how far he could throw it down.
Phelps the inbound. Here's Stone again. Out to Sigmund. Stone, quick trigger. He is lighting it up so far tonight. That's 15 for Lance Stone. His dad's loving that.
Yeah, that was a standstill three-pointer. We really haven't seen that out of him.
Mosley, the 2 on the other end for the Panthers.
Yeah, that little mid-range jumper has been there against this press.
Stone, again, my goodness. Lance Stone is all over the place. He's got to shoot this one. Oh my goodness, if he made that one, the gym was gonna go nuts. Sigmund, rebound, Miller, back up, no. Somehow Renaissance didn't score out of all of that.
I would have liked to see Miller throw that back out, but that's okay, big man. You got the rebound. Go ahead, put it back up.
Payne just made a 3. Can anyone miss in this game?
I love it, and it's fast-paced too. Now they're not doing 45-second possessions to find a shot. It's 5 seconds and up.
Somewhere Mike D'Antoni smiles. 7 seconds or less, baby. Payne whips it ahead. Mosley into the corner. Payne. That was a heat check.
That's tough too. You know, after you hit one big shot, you're feeling good. Next thing you know, you're at the top of the key all alone and air ball. You just gotta kind of hang your head and walk back down the court.
Yeah, you're like, oh, okay.
I am human.
All right. Lance Stone, 18 already. That time, a gorgeous pass, but Phelps was blocked by Payne.
Yeah, that possession could have used one extra pass. Phelps had a big man down low that he could have thrown it to. Big number 31 there, wide open. So that one extra pass, what Larry Brown used to preach.
Timeout on the floor, we'll take it with him. Just under 3 minutes to go and a breakneck first half. Don't blink in this game, you'll miss something. Lowering the shoulder.
Swing and a miss.
McGinley scores!
And it's going to be a challenge for us. I mean, they're a really talented football team. I think everybody knows that.
4 wide receivers. Pressure, steps up. Marshall wants to run again. Cuts down the middle of the field. All alone. Touchdown, Warriors! What a cut.
Right off the inbound. Stone nearly hit another 3. I'm telling you, you cannot blink in this game or you'll miss something.
You can't even go to break without coming back to a shot being put up.
I mean, these are NBA levels of scoring in a high school game. They play 24 minutes in an NBA half. They play 16 in high school, but nobody can miss. And right back to the line goes Roseville as Phelps followed Payne.
But that's what we were talking about earlier, you know, that there is no zone defense being played. So the man-to-man is going to create this flow of basketball where you're just witnessing matchups, picks, people getting open, and it's almost a little more natural than the zone. You know, that's why some people, they don't want the zone. They want it kind of taken out of basketball.
Stick, you got to be careful. You're talking to a dude who went to Syracuse, okay? So, like, I'm supposed to tell you I like the zone because Jim Boeheim ran it for 2 decades.
Yeah, and, you know, he had a good year with it.
Good year. He won the national championship.
That was a good year. That's a really good year.
And he made like 5 Final Fours.
Carmelo Anthony definitely helped.
He was quite good at the old basketball thing, yeah.
Yep, he shot the ball well as a freshman at Syracuse.
Heard a rumor that a certain professional basketball team in this town could have drafted Carmelo Anthony, but they didn't.
No, we decided to go with the Euro, very talented young Darko Milicic.
How'd he work out?
I believe he's a farmer in Serbia right now.
Good for him.
Yes. Carmelo probably going to the Hall of Fame.
He had a decent career. Phelps, that's a good-looking floater.
That'll never be forgotten in this town.
Hey, they still won a championship with Darko, so I guess it all worked out.
Yep, Darko got a ring, Melo does not.
Amen. Because life is not fair.
Nope.
Life is not fair. There's got to be a foul in there in somewhere. Yeah, now Scott is the guy who fouls Malachi Jackson. And for this game, Stick, as we get another look at the foul, this is a really important 151, it feels like, right? 9-point game. Roseville still hanging around after the good start.
Yeah, this is always a point in the basketball game where the next 5 points are so crucial, because it's either going to be a 4-point game or a 14-point game.
How did Stone find Jackson with that pass?
And can Jackson miss?
Seriously. Off the bench with 10 in the first half alone.
But what I like what Jackson did there, instead of stepping back and taking a 3, which you see a lot of these young kids doing, he just took the shot, mid-range jumper, and knocked it down.
Tough break for Wren. He slipped. That is the trend in basketball. Now everyone's seen Steph step back and hit all those threes.
Yep.
To which I would counter with, guys, he's the greatest shooter who's ever lived. Love you. You're not the greatest shooter who's ever lived.
Yeah, but it's not just Steph. You know, you have Trae Young, you have James Harden. There's a lot of players in the NBA that just shoot from wherever the heck they want now.
Sometimes Stone and Sigmund get a little too cute, and that time they just weren't on the same page.
That's all right, though. Once again, it's an aggressive turnover. It's trying to make a play. It's not dribbling the ball off your foot or doing anything like that. I'm okay with aggressive turnovers.
Final minute of a action-packed first quarter. First half, should say. Mosley, elbow jumper. Another foul on Sigmund. That's a couple on Jordan now.
Yeah, that looked to be more of a touch foul, but once he got him on the hip, it's tough to defend.
Mosley putting up a darn good first half for Roseville. 9 points as he goes to the line. I mean, look, if you're Roseville, considering how well Renaissance has shot it, you get down by 9-8 points at halftime, you're okay with that, I think.
Yeah, I mean, Roseville's got to feel okay, right? They got out to a big lead. You're not okay that you blew that lead. But, yeah, I mean, it's been lights-out shooting for Renaissance, and you hope that cools down. But the only way that's going to cool down is with some better defense.
Let's see how Renaissance attacks this trip. I don't think they're going to waste any time. That is just not in their DNA. Tipped out of bounds by Wren.
And I love that play right there. I mean, Stone goes into the corner, and then you have Malachi Jackson break into the top of the key, and then a cutter. Multiple options. You'll love that on a play.
Steal by Jenkins. Up the floor in a flash. Got 2 down deep, but the follow is good for Herman Wren. Here you go, right where they want it. A little bit closer, 7-point game. $18 in a remarkable first half for Lance Stone. What does he do? Number 11's got that thing on a string, like in the backyard his whole life. Driving and drawing a foul on Payne.
You know, he's so dangerous with that shot. You got to respect it. You got to stay up close to him. And then he does that little hezzy with the left hand and goes right by you. And you got to follow him and put him at the line. So, that, you know, when you start making those shots, it really opens up the game for a guy like Stone.
Junior, who's only getting better, only getting bigger as time goes along. His dad, with all that coaching experience, definitely going to help him out in terms of navigating the recruiting market, where potentially to go. Lance has got an offer from Detroit Mercy down the road.
Hey, go Titans.
Heck yeah.
It's my old school.
Here they're starting right back, and the soccer team is really good. That would be my younger brother. Shout out to Vincent, go Titans. Halftime at Renaissance High School. A lot of points. Quick moving game. I love it. Lance Stone with 20 for Roseville in the first half, and a 9-point lead with 2 quarters to go, and a full day of basketball with Detroit.
From an ordinary idea comes a great journey. It all starts with a simple thought, a vision of something bigger, greater than what already exists. It's that spark that ignites the passion and drive to create something truly amazing. At G-Brand, we understand this journey well. We take pride in the details and perfecting every aspect of the process, regardless of how small or big they may be. Because it's more than just a design or a shirt. It's about outfitting future champions. There's something to be said about a team coming together, each member contributing their unique skills, talents, and ideas. It's that collective effort that takes a simple idea and turns it into something truly great. The process can be excruciating, with countless hours spent tirelessly reviewing every detail. But the end result is pure and so rewarding, knowing that we've created something that will inspire greatness in those who wear it. Whether they come from a savage land or a booming metropolis, whether their numbers are 2 or 2 billion, the greatest their numbers could ever become is truly to become one. That's why at G-Brand, we're more than just a clothing company. We're a movement, a community of like-minded individuals who believe in the power of coming together to make a difference. So join us on this journey as we strive to outfit future champions and inspire greatness in all that we do. G-Brand. Now that's game.
Hi folks, Dr. Joe here again with Michigan Orthopedic Surgeons. Did you know that kids are not little adults when it comes to sports injuries? That's because of something called the growth plate. Growth plates exist all over the human body in our growing athletes. They're actually little cartilage discs that exist at the end of all the long bones. It's simply where a kid grows. The problem is that the growth plate can be the weak link. What might be a sprain, a strain, or a tear in an adult when they hurt themselves can actually be a growth plate fracture in a kid. So it's important, if your kid has hurt themselves and they're not using their arm or they're not able to put weight on a leg, come see one of us, get an x-ray, and make sure it's not a growth plate fracture. For more information, go to miorthosurgeons.com.
My dad and my grandfather are officials. I've grown up around officials and seeing how much they enjoy being part of the games. As a student athlete, I've always appreciated the people out there who are willing to give back to the kids. The Legacy program lets me officiate while I'm still in high school, working younger kids' games. Officiating gives me a better understanding of the game. I get to make some pretty good money for a high school kid, and I even get to spend some quality time with my dad. There's help wanted. Just whistle.
to shoulder.
Swing and a miss.
McKinley scores!
Take a look at us right now. We are everything that will be. We are an engine of progress that has been forged by generations, driven by the knowledge that each student in every classroom has the potential to be their best self and inspire us all. We are teachers, parents, families, all ready to do our part. We know when students rise, we all rise. We are Detroit Public Schools Community District.
There's just one place where students are students first, and athletics are played with purpose and perspective. That place is your local high school. High school sports offer more than the joy of competition. Studies show that student athletes are also likely to enjoy greater levels of achievement in other areas of their lives, including academics. High school sports, a winning part of a complete education.
Hi folks, Dr. Joe here again with Michigan Orthopedic Surgeons. Did you know that kids are not little adults when it comes to sports injuries? That's because of something called the growth plate. Growth plates exist all over the human body in our growing athletes. They're actually little cartilage discs that exist at the end of all the long bones. It's simply where a kid grows. The problem is that the growth plate can be the weak link. What might be a sprain, a strain, or a tear in an adult when they hurt themselves can actually be a growth plate fracture in a kid. So it's important, if your kid has hurt themselves and they're not using their arm or they're not able to put weight on a leg, come see one of us, get an x-ray, and make sure it's not a growth plate fracture. For more information, go to miorthosurgeons.com.
Final half of a full day of basketball here at Renaissance High School in Detroit. Same site where Detroit Catholic Central used to be once upon a time, but they now have gorgeous Renaissance High School here, filled with basketball talent all day. First game of the day, Southeastern rallies back from down 15 and beats Robichaud. Second game of the day, Detroit Western down by 24 points in the third quarter. They rally back and beat Redford Union. So, stick as we approach the start of this second half. Renaissance is up by 9 on Roseville. What do you think? We have another comeback here left on us on a crazy day?
It's all very confusing, though, because Renaissance started the game out down 10. So have they already fulfilled the prophecy of the comeback, or are they going to be the one to give up the prophecy of the comeback? We got a second half to discover it, but I'm telling you this much. As long as Stone is knocking down threes at the capacity he's doing it, Renaissance is going to be very tough to come back on.
Yeah, Lance Stone with 20 points in the first half. Number 11 in white, showing out all game. Roseville off to that great start, but the story with this Renaissance team, if you haven't heard it before, I'm going to tell you now. This Renaissance team, about as much raw talent as any team you'll find in Detroit, in Michigan. They're very confident with their ability to go against the big boys and beat them. They have stated aspirations to get to the Breslin Center in March, but a lot of young talent. 3 sophomores and a freshman in the starting lineup. Their oldest guy in the starting lineup is Stone, who's a junior. Games like this can help you grow up, Stick, and that's a good start to the second half for Roseville. Mosley has 13 points now.
Yeah, we've seen an up and down basketball game, and hopefully it continues here in the second half.
Stone all the way across the court. Miller's pass tipped and intercepted.
That's what else has been impressive about Stone's game, is just his cross-court vision. Oh, my.
Jenkins behind the back. Wow. All the way and getting fouled.
That was a beautiful move behind the back to get around the defender and get to the rim, and now potentially to knock down 2 at the foul line.
Jenkins had 4 points in the first half. That was silly. He just got rid of Lance Stone. Roseville team that thinks they're a lot better than their 1-3 record. And when you really dive into it, you believe them. So they've played 4 games this year, Roseville has. They lost to Frazier by 4 in overtime. They lost to Chelsea, who gave Cass Tech a game last night. Roseville lost to Chelsea by 6. Then they lose to Grosse Pointe South, who's really good, by 9. And then their win was over L'Anse Creuse North by 3. So I guess this game is destined to be close. That would what the trend would be, would tell us anyway. Renaissance has just had a really poor start to the second half.
Yeah, coming out without a lot of energy in there, just a, kind of a lazy turnover. I talk to you about it all the time. I don't mind aggressive turnovers, but something like that where you're throwing the ball away from the rim and it just hits the baseline or the sideline, those are the turnovers that'll kill you.
Jenkins driving and kicking. Mosley missed. Rebound Jackson. Sigmund on the push. Sigmund. Oh, tough roll off.
He is so fast with the basketball.
Highly thought of sophomore, Stick. Yeah, you can see why on that drive.
Yeah, I mean, there's fast, and then there's fast with the basketball. They're 2 completely different things. And when you can dribble and be as fast as other guys that are straight running, it's a special talent.
Turnover that time on Roseville. Down to a 6-point game. Here goes Sigmund again. Finally, a whistle. We were waiting for a whistle somewhere in there.
And they called a charge.
Yeah, they did. Sigmund, I think that's his 3rd foul. Yeah, that's a charge. Nice job by Scott.
Yeah, nice job by Scott. I thought Sigmund did enough job of getting to the side and just catching a piece of him, not running directly into him, but the official saw it the other way, and there was definitely forced contact.
And now he's got to sit. The door is open for Roseville.
Well, he went to the bench early in the first half, too, and that's kind of when Roseville went on their run, or I'm sorry, Renaissance went on their run. Defense by Stone.
Just all over Payne. Now Mosley, a tough fall away, and the rebound for Miller. Stone had 20 in the first half. This time, a find to Phelps. Driving baseline, another offensive foul.
That official's just going to stand in the same spot and call charges all night.
2 minutes into the quarter, and Renaissance hasn't scored yet in the half.
But this is why, this isn't a very fluid quarter so far, these first 2 minutes. You saw when they're scoring, they're running, they're turning, they're burning. This slow down, sloppy game is not their strength.
Scott on the roll and the finish.
Great adjustment in the air for Scott. He's not just a big bruiser.
It's a 4-point game all of a sudden. Phelps, what a split of the double. One more pass, Miller. Rebound, Roseville.
Yeah, that's about as good of offense as you're going to get, though.
Wren, no whistle. And a rebound for Flint. Coming up on 5 to go, 3rd quarter. 46-42 Renaissance. Stone, fall away, Jay. My goodness.
It's almost like on that possession, he's decided, all right, I've had enough. I'm going to take this ball. I'm going to get us some more points and get us back on track.
That is 2 impressive points. Payne slipped, and he was fouled. Another foul on Malachi Jackson.
Yeah, so far not a lot of pace to this second half. Both teams, it feels like almost like a first quarter. They're trying to feel each other out again and figure out how they're going to attack.
It's 46-37 at halftime. Just the 5 for Roseville so far, and the only bucket for Lance Stone for Renaissance. I mean, honestly, Stick, we were spoiled with the pace of that first half. They were going up and down, hitting shots. Sometimes, as we know very well, basketball games at the high school level can get stagnant and sloppy. That was not a sloppy first half.
No, that was a very entertaining first half. But that's, you know, that's the difference between amateurs, right?
Yeah.
They're going to have those ebbs and flows.
Offensive rebound off the miss. Big time shot coming. Roll off for Roseville. Phelps amidst a crowd. The held ball and the arrow to Renaissance.
Yeah, the one thing I think both these teams are missing is like a true big man. They both have incredible guard play. You know, their forwards pretty good too, but nobody really has a true big man.
In and out for Jackson. Rebound, Harris has got it for Renaissance. I think the Phoenix want their big guy to be that 6'5" freshman Gales, but we haven't seen 23 a lot tonight, honestly. Stone. Not that time. Jackson couldn't save it along the baseline.
Yeah, I like how aggressive Stone is being, though, right now. You know, the offense is kind of stagnant. He is your best shooter so far in this game, so he's trying to put it on himself, and that's what your best players need to do when the team's going through a lull.
There are not many 4-minute stretches in which Renaissance has 2 points. Payne, short. Stone on the lob ahead to Phelps. Now Renaissance can get to the pace they want. Phelps, kick, Harris. Foul, could be on Jackson again. You seeing some frustration here from Renaissance?
Yeah, that was a tough foul call on Jackson, and Renaissance, they're not getting those breakouts like we're talking about, and yeah, it is leading to some frustration. There you see Malachi Jackson just kind of sneaking behind and getting a little bit of too much arm.
Can Roseville get closer? Mosley behind the back dribble to get Miller up in the air, and then a foul.
Yeah, and there have been a lot of fouls called here in this third quarter, especially on the Phoenix. I mean, they're already over 5 team fouls, so that means they're going to be shooting 2 for the next 3:35 in this quarter, and 0 fouls on the other side for Roseville.
One more coming for Jalen Mosley. Jalen up to 14 points in this game. He's scored 20 plus in each of the last couple of games. Jalen is on track to get over 20 again tonight. Slight delay here as we had a Roseville Panther check into the game.
That's crazy. What seemed like a lightning fast first half has kind of come to a grind halt game here in the third quarter. And you don't know who that really benefits.
Good again for Mosley. Down to a 3-point game. Here we go. Stone. Jackson. What a shot fake. Malachi Jackson. Come on now.
And look at Dad courtside with his 3 up too. Loving it. But yeah, you called it. What a beautiful pump fake to get that wide open look.
Blocked. Still Roseville ball, and Mosley draws the foul on Phelps.
And that's going to be 2 free throws.
Yeah.
17 fouls here in the third quarter to 0.
Not a single one on Roseville. Well, what's one way to get back in a basketball game? Get to the free throw line. There you go.
Well, and yeah, what's one way to break or stop a fast-breaking team? Constantly grind it out, free throws. You're able to set your defense on the other side. You know, no rebounds and runouts. So this is all working in the favor of Roseville right now.
Feels like one of those games where you pick your head up with 4 minutes left and go, oh, wow, a lot closer than it feels like, you know? Mosley split the pair. That's going to be a foul on Drayshawn Noble.
Play call is open. Let's see what this play is.
Stone briefly found the open man. Harris had it, lost it, got it back. Miller, yes sir.
And a huge three-pointer right there for the Phoenix.
Up the floor and a flash. No good. Big rebound down there and a kick. Mosley short, another rebound. Mosley stripped, got it back, and got fouled. He is to the line again. That's 3 straight offensive possessions.
Oh, you hear the coach? Not sure if you picked that up on the mic. He's yelling, box out if you're going to rebound, or you can watch the game from the bench. He is yelling that clear across the court for everybody to hear. And he's right.
I mean, it's allowing the Roseville to keep getting back to the line and get back in this game. Mosley's hit 4 free throws in the last 40 seconds of game action.
Yeah, and if you're not going to put a body and you're not going to box out, coach is right. You can not box out from over here.
Yeah.
Me and you are doing a great job of not boxing out from up here.
We've done many things well today, but we have not boxed out well, just honestly because we've not had the chance. Look at Scott again inside. Roseville's grabbing rebounds all over the place. Mosley again.
And I'm not sure where Renaissance goes to get a body down low. Now, do they go to Gales? They put him in the game.
Stone, no good. Noble had it and lost it, but there's a foul down there. It's on Stone.
And that's where you got to be smart, because every foul is resulting in free throws. So when you're following, 60 feet away from the hoop, that's not a good aggressive foul. And look at him just going in there, diving at the ball. I like the aggressiveness, but proper place and time.
First time today that Drayshawn Noble gets to go to the line. Junior rocking 23 in the red and white. Didn't see him in the first half. Calm looking stroke. Good looking free throw on the second one. Kyle Reeves, 11, comes back in. Jalen Mosley just came out. One and 2 at the line.
Love the little high step coming up the court.
You got to be confident to do that in a game, you know? Jackson, confident all night. Scott got lost on the other end.
Yeah, Scott really has had a nice imprint on this game. Big number 15 for Roseville.
Stone directing the offense yet again. Jackson to Miller. His bomb well short. Rebound down there, battling for it. Harris got in a tie-up. The arrow does mean it's Roseville ball, though.
And that official is quick to call those tie-ups. That's a couple this game where it's just immediately as the other guy has his hands on the ball, it's a tie-up. Now here they come with a press.
And Roseville forced to burn a timeout. We'll take it with them. Another good one brewing at Renaissance High School. What a day of hoops. Just over a minute to go in the third, and it's a 5-point game. Lowering the shoulder.
Swing and a miss. McKinley scores!
Back at Renaissance High. Renaissance has led for a large chunk of this game, but Roseville ain't going anywhere. 5-point ball game with 1:12 to go. That record for Roseville is deceiving, as we've talked about here. Injuries have beset the team so far this year. They've lost 3 games. by a combined 19 points. We're seeing tonight, Stick, why these Roseville Panthers are going to be a problem going forward. There's been many times it feels like Renaissance is going to pull away, but through that dedicated effort, these Panthers are here to play the rest of the way.
Yeah, and that's a tribute to the coaching staff. You know, you got a team that's 1-3. It's probably, like you said, not an accurate record for how much talent they have, but to keep your team focused and on point this early in the season, tribute to the coach.
And they break the press with ease. Anthony Scott is building quite the resume tonight, 14 points.
I mean, he's the lone big on the floor, I think, for either team.
Stone gave it up, got it back, and now we'll slow it down. In case you're wondering where Jordan Sigmund is for Renaissance, he's been in foul trouble this second half. Haven't seen him a lot. Stone missed the three, but that is a nice follow and finish by Jaden Miller. Roseville breaking it again, but a steal from behind by Stone. Now look at him go. Lance leads the attack. Miller, roll off. Phelps had it, got it again. Marcellus Phelps for two.
Renaissance just has to teach. Everybody's got the open green light. Oh, big fella.
A little bit excited, Stick. Got a little bit excited.
A little coy smile there. He knew. Look at him. He's like, that's on me, guys. Got a little excited. He's having fun out there and having a great game. That's what it's all about.
Yeah. Whoever wins or loses this game, it's not going to make or break their season. You know, still early. I mean, if Lance Stone made that. But Miller's right there to clean it up, and he beat the buzzer. Renaissance grows the lead as we go off to the fourth. Roseville thinks it shouldn't have counted. They'll talk about it. They put two on the board. As of now, it's a 9-point lead for Renaissance. Miller, yes. Phoenix in front. Lowering the shoulder.
Swing and a miss. McKinley scores!
All right, now we can go to break. Miller was actually fouled on that play at the end of the quarter. He missed the free throw. Rashid would say ball don't lie. Now we can go to the fourth quarter. Renaissance up by 9. Back after this.
Take a look at us right now. We are everything that will be. We are an engine of progress that has been forged by generations, driven by the knowledge that each student in every classroom has the potential to be their best self and inspire us all. We are teachers, parents, families, all ready to do our part. We know when students rise, we all rise. We are Detroit Public Schools Community District.
Lowering the shoulder.
Swing and a miss. McKinley scores!
We've talked about Renaissance and their young talent all night. 5-2 record. Lost to Romulus Summit Academy at the beginning of this month, and then to King about a week ago by just 3 points. Jordan Sigmund, considered one of the better sophomores in America. You've seen Lance Stone and all the good things he's done tonight. It's a lot of raw talent on this Renaissance team, no doubt about it. Tonight they're putting it together. Still a quarter to go. Phelps fouled on the drive by Herman Wren.
Yeah, Wren putting his hands on his head. He did not think he got a foul there. It looked like it was all ball. And that's a pretty tough call on Wren. But if you're Renaissance, you'll take it. Roseville shot enough free throws. You want your turn at the line.
You know, on a team where Lance Stone gets a lot of headlines, Jordan Sigmund gets a lot of headlines, and deservingly so. Marcellus Phelps, also a returner from last year's team, played a lot as a freshman. Now he's a sophomore. It is a little bit deceiving, right, Stick? It's one of those teams where you look at the roster and go, man, they're really young. But all these guys who were sophomores and juniors this year, they were freshmen and sophomores last year, so they play a little bit older than that. And we'll see if it helps them out going down the stretch of the season when the games start getting really important.
That, and not only, they're getting the experience together too, and they play a lot of good team basketball. You see them calling out sets and calling out plays. They know where each other's going to be on the court.
Jenkins, nice drive and kick. Wren missed the three. Scott down there again, a man-child on the boards today. 14 points and a whole bunch of rebounds too.
Yeah, Jackson's not backing down though on this rebound. Look at, he grabs that ball.
That time off the inbound, Scott had it stolen. Miller to Phelps. No, there you go. Jenkins whacked him in the face. That had to have been a foul.
Yeah, I thought Phelps did a favor to Roseville by slowing down there and bringing that ball back down. But unfortunately for him, he gets fouled and gets to head to the line. And what a difference in fouls between the quarters. What was it, 8-1 in the third quarter for Roseville? This quarter, 2-0.
That's it, 2-0?
2-0 in fouls. That's
How about
it.
that?
I like when there's not a lot of fouls called in a game, but, you know, obviously the officials are here for a reason, and when it gets a little too physical, they got to do their job.
It's like watching a football game, right? None of us like to watch a game where there's a gazillion flags.
No.
Let's keep it moving. Ooh, what a cut to the rim and a finish. That was smooth by Payne. All right, Roseville hanging around. Sigmund back in. What a find into the corner. Lance Stone, ice in his veins again.
And that's what Sigmund brings to the offense when he comes back in. Now you can set up Lance Stone as your go-to shooter when Sigmund's bringing the ball up the court instead of having Stone do it all the time.
25 for Lance Stone. What a night. Back out to Payne, who had the bucket on the last trip. He has it stripped here, and Lance Stone adds to what's turning into a heck of a night.
It's always interesting to watch smaller stature players and how they approach that play right there, you know, because a tall guy is going to go up and dunk it. He's going to just go up and lay it in. But for a Stone, he's got to use the rim as protection against the bigger defender, and he did it beautifully on that drive.
3 ball for Payne. Jadarius hits. Here we go. Stick, the third quarter did not have the pace of the first half. This fourth quarter definitely does.
And that's why Renaissance has taken back the 12-point lead.
What a find. Miller on the baseline cut. Stone with eyes locked in to find him, and a foul.
And you know what that does when you have a point guard like that, that's going to reward you for doing that extra effort from hitting that back cut on the baseline. It really makes you put in more effort during the game because you know it's not wasted effort anymore.
Full day of hoops at Renaissance High School, Stick.
It's been a fun day of basketball.
Southeastern trailed by 15 in the third quarter against Robichaud in the first game. They came back and won. The second game, I'm still trying to wrap my brain around the fact that Detroit Western was down by 24 points in the third quarter. They were down 30-7 at the end of the first quarter, and they came back and beat Redford Union. We're going to cover a bunch of basketball games this year. I really don't know if we'll see a better comeback than that second game today. That was crazy.
Yeah, and if you get a chance, go watch that second half. It's up now on the YouTube for the prep. It's a fun second half to watch, especially if you're a Saunders or a Harvey fan.
Those guys were awesome. Steal for Renaissance. Here they go. Malachi Jackson. Halfway down and out. Now Roseville up the floor. Herman Wren for 2.
Yeah, Malachi Jackson there did a complete turnaround. I was going to be shocked if he made that shot because if you spin that fast and are still able to orient yourself and make that shot, it's impressive.
Lance Stone had it tipped at the last second. Otherwise, he was going to get 2 more points.
He is a pest with that basketball, man. He keeps it low, tough to get to, very smart, sees the entire floor. You saw it there. You were right. If that didn't get poked away, he was going up with the left hand for another layup.
Like he hasn't done enough today, you know? He's only scored 27. I mean,
that's it.
Maybe he's about to get more. Let's find out. No, it's a no-look pass into the corner to Phelps. Oh, man. Sigmund down to the deck. saves the possession back to Stone. Floater. A rare miss. Feels like he hasn't missed all game. Jenkins got it back. Wide open man down low. Davis hits. Roseville hanging around.
Yeah, 10-point game. We've seen it. This is not insurmountable.
And this is where it gets weird for Renaissance, right? They just don't have the ability to run deliberate possessions. It works when you can have Sigmund get inside like that with no problems.
Yeah, Sigmund coming back in the game and pretty much being probably the most rested player on the court at this point is really going to help them out down the stretch.
Back up to 12 with just under 4.5 to go. Mosley, fall away, Jay, rebound, Davis, no, of course. Scott got the rebound, up and in. Even if Roseville doesn't win this game, you got to give some love to Anthony Scott. He has worked so darn hard down there.
Yeah, and if they hadn't found it, they found something special here with this young man. You know, keep feeding him on the post, and he does a lot of work when you don't draw plays up for him. Just because he's big, he's able to move out, get space, and get those offensive rebounds.
Guy who's going to go play football at Grand Valley, was on a really good Roseville football team that won the district championship over Grosse Pointe South. And they lost to De La Salle in the playoffs. They've lost 4 years in a row to De La Salle. Roseville is telling anyone who will listen, can you please stop having us play De La Salle in the playoffs, please?
De La Salle's had a nice run.
Sigmund through contact. Got another foul on Brian Jenkins. And it was weird to see De La Salle. It wasn't weird to see him lose. Muskegon's got an awesome football program, but the way they lost, being up in the first half, Mackay Guy just ran wild for Muskegon in the second half of that state title game.
Yeah, Muskegon's had a special program for a long, long time and has really taken it to the Catholic League when they've met them in the state finals.
It's just tough when you're preparing for an offense in Muskegon that you don't see a lot, and the athletes they've got every single year. I mean, like, look at their basketball team. Muskegon made the state championship in hoops last year.
Yeah, always a great program out there.
Yes, in case you're wondering, Mackay Guy, the quarterback on the football team, also plays on the basketball team. And he has the finest name in high school athletics.
Mackay Guy?
It literally rhymes. He's that kind of guy. Quiet night by Jordan Sigmund's standards. That's 11 points now for the super sophomore. But he's done a good job getting to the line. He's made 5 free throws. Could make it 6 here.
Shooting free throws left-handed. He's had a lot of good lefties today.
Yeah, everything just looks better as a lefty. I'll go on record saying that. I'm not a lefty, but I do swing golf club left. I shoot a hockey stick left, so I guess I'm a partial lefty. I don't know if I'm a part of the club.
I think they'll accept you. They'll take anything they can at this point.
Yeah.
And there's so many righties out there.
The world is just built for righties. Yep. Every lefty has told me that the world is just not built for them.
That's why Ned Flanders has the leftorium.
Mosley missed it. The follow's no good. Roseville's effort has been relentless. Roseville has Renaissance ahead of the pack. Sigmund +1.
And what a great pass by Stone. You know, we've talked about his shooting, but when he's got the ball and he's able to lead his players into easy layups, it definitely helps this Phoenix offense click. See that nice bounce pass right there, leading his man.
There's so many talented basketball players in Michigan. We know about Trey McKinnon. Darius Acuff at Cass Tech before going to IMG Academy. We're going to have the chance here on the Prep to cover a lot of great hoops over the next couple of months. Jordan Sigmund, a name that you've got to know if you follow basketball in this state. Maybe Renaissance, a team you've got to start paying more attention to. They're young, but they're good. You got to know about Lance Stone, too. Ahead to Sigmund. What a creative finish.
And he just makes that look easy. That is a tough finish. He took the contact midair, still able to get the ball in the hoop.
Roseville, tough look down low that rolled off. Second look, no. Renaissance got it again. Give it up to Lance Stone. 2 more points, 29.
Thought Lance Stone was getting ready to dunk that ball.
Give up Sigmund. They're just having fun now. Stone, Sigmund, the dynamic duo.
Don't look now, as George Blaha would say, with the lead up to 21 before you know it.
And the clock is running. Shouldn't be running. Still running. No one's noticed. Sigmund, all of a sudden, if he makes the free throw, has 20 points. Okay, then they noticed.
And they still ran an additional 20 seconds off that clock, I believe, because our guys, who are never wrong, had the clock at 47, 2:47.
It's been a long day for everybody. It's okay. Foul in the corner. I think, Stick, when 20 seconds runs off the clock, it's okay when it's a 22-point game. If it was a 2-point game, I think Roseville would go, wait a minute, wait a minute. Yep, I think they finally noticed that a lot of time ran off the clock. Yep.
Someone's listening to the broadcast.
Thank God somebody is. That means they have to pay me. I believe the rule is if no one watches, we don't get paid. I think that's the rule.
Is that why I haven't been paid?
I can't help you. I can't help you on that one, Stick. I really can't.
It's my first time working with you this season. I haven't been paid up to this point. I don't know.
Well, you're just going to have to talk to the right people. Like, I just can't work with Evan again. It's just too tough. Which I understand. It's fine. Herman Wren, nice game for the senior. 13 points. Sigmund almost lost it. Jordan's got it back. Jordan Sigmund on the move. All the way. No good. Rebound Roseville. One more for Scott. Steal. Lance Stone. Rebound Roseville. Oh, Sigmund got a piece. Oh, what a finish. Ooh. Marcellus Phelps. Cue the sweet Georgia Brown. They're having fun now at Renaissance High. Up and down the floor. Roseville can't get 2 back. Here they go again. Phelps.
I mean, Roseville has just kind of given up on defense. That was a 1-on-4, 4-on-1 fast break. They didn't convert, but Roseville has just kind of conceded this game to this point.
Which was not what we saw in the first couple of games. Southeastern rallied back to win. Western rallied back to win. No rally coming here. Detroit Renaissance all over Roseville. The final minute coming after this. Lowering the shoulder.
Swing and a miss. McGinley scores!
And it's going to be a challenge for us. I mean, they're a really talented football team. I think everybody knows that.
4 wide receivers. Pressure. Steps up. Marshall wants to run again. Cuts down the middle of the field. All alone. Touchdown! Warriors! What a cut.
In today's ever-changing real estate market, make sure you rely on trusted professionals like Todd Barr and the outstanding team at Success Mortgage Partners. Go look them up and make sure you get the best help possible from all of our friends at Success Mortgage Partners. Vince Lee, Owen Lee, Kevin Broughton leading the charge at SMP. Hear a rumor that they are outstanding people. Although Kevin went to Brother Rice, but we'll just ignore that one.
Hey, that's okay. That's okay.
Is it though? I'm kidding.
We got NMLS ID 130562. You got to throw that out there for legalities.
There we go. There we go. Todd Barr's number, by the way, is 734-674-6154. One more time, 734-674-6154.
Thank them for being a great sponsor of the Prep. And while you're watching right now, make sure you subscribe, like, share, tell your friends.
Whether you've just joined us for this game or all 9 games the last couple of days, thanks for being a part of it. Great high school coverage coming on the Prep for the next few months. High school basketball in full swing in our great state of Michigan. Those are all the ways you can join us. Yes, we refuse to put the X logo for Twitter because I miss the bird. Did you know the bird's name for Twitter? His name was Larry, for Larry Bird.
Oh,
Yeah.
look at that.
Hopefully I taught you something new, because you learn something new every day.
I would love to answer that in a Jeopardy, and then somebody look at me like, how the heck did you know that? I'm going to be like, Evan Stockton told me during a basketball game.
Yeah, I work with this guy. He's a little weird, but he gives me strange facts, so I use them. Seriously, thanks to everyone who's watched the last few days. Make sure you like, subscribe, follow the whole deal to know what games are coming up on the Prep. And thanks to our entire outstanding production team getting to cover awesome athletes like this. Lance Stone, 32 points. We've heard a lot about Stone and Sigmund, and they have not disappointed. They have combined for 52 points for Renaissance. Wow.
And Sigmund hasn't really played half the game because of foul trouble. Imagine if both of them were on the court the whole game. My goodness.
Stick, I know they're young, but when you have players like Stone and Sigmund, that dynamic duo, they're great equalizers. They can help you win darn near any game, and that's why Renaissance, it feels like there's going to be a lot of games that they're in just because of those two guys, and they're going to have a shot to make some noise. And when you talk to their coaching staff, it's impressive. They go, look, we know there's good teams. We know Cass hasn't lost in, it feels like, a year and a half. We know there's all these great teams across the state, but they have the goal and aspiration to get to the Breslin Center. And credit to them. We're excited to follow them the rest of the year.
Yeah, listen, anytime you put up almost 100 points in a high school basketball game, you are a dangerous team.
Could be the final shot of the game for Roseville. They got off to a 13-3 start, and then it started snowballing on them. There's a good end of the game. Herman Wren will finish with 18 points. Will Renaissance let her go one more time? They will call off the Dogs. Renaissance is young, but my goodness, are these boys talented. Lance Stone just tried to dunk just for fun. Have a feeling he's going to be our G of the game. He dropped 32. Coach's son showing out. Renaissance, a 21-point win. And we're back to wrap it up after this.
From an ordinary idea comes a great journey. It all starts with a simple thought, a vision of something bigger, greater than what already exists. It's that spark that ignites the passion and drive to create something truly amazing. At G-Brand, we understand this journey well. We take pride in the details and perfecting every aspect of the process, regardless of how small or big they may be. Because it's more than just a design or a shirt. It's about outfitting future champions. There's something to be said about a team coming together, each member contributing their unique skills, talents, and ideas. It's that collective effort that takes a simple idea and turns it into something truly great. The process can be excruciating, with countless hours spent tirelessly reviewing every detail. But the end result is pure and so rewarding, knowing that we've created something that will inspire greatness in those who wear it. Whether they come from a savage land or a booming metropolis, whether their numbers are 2 or 2 billion, the greatest their numbers could ever become is truly to become one. That's why at G-Brand, we're more than just a clothing company. We're a movement, a community of like-minded individuals who believe in the power of coming together to make a difference. So join us on this journey as we strive to outfit future champions and inspire greatness in all that we do. G-Brand. Now that's game.
Lowering the shoulder.
Swing and a miss. McKinley scores!
All right, we're back at Renaissance High School. Final game of 2 days of the PSL Classic, and we were treated to a lot of scoring. Classic offensive performance from the Renaissance Phoenix. They scored 93 points in a win. Huge reason why they won. He's our G of the game, Lance Stone, who just dropped 32 points. Lance, one, thanks for joining us. Appreciate it. Oh, that was awkward. You got it damn nailed now. We're good. We're good. Okay, so I was never good at basketball, so help me out here. When you drop 32 points like that, how does it feel?
It's really just normal to me, for real. 'Cause I've been doing this my whole years of high school, so it's really just another game for me.
And for you guys, honestly, this is just another game for you. You guys are scoring like 80 points per game. What is it about the makeup of the team that allows you guys to just go up and down the floor like you were doing all night?
We had tough conditions in the fall and summer. We ran cross country the whole summer and the whole fall, and my whole team, we won the cross country championship for the PSL. So like, we put a lot of work into going up and down like that. That's why we were able to score so many points.
You know, even looking at the game, right?
Yeah.
So many people talk about you. So many people talk about Jordan. You guys are going to go play Division I basketball somewhere. But Malachi in this game is hitting threes from all over the place. People talk about you and Jordan a lot, but what else should they know about the Renaissance Phoenix basketball team?
We all can go. Like, all of us scored 31 games. We all can play. So you better be ready.
And then the last one, too. Obviously, there's a lot of good basketball teams in Detroit. Cass Tech hasn't lost in like 2 years. They just won the state championship. But what's it going to take for, admittedly, a young team? You're the old guy and you're a junior. You're not even a senior.
Yeah, I'm
so
still 16.
Right. So what's it going to take for you guys to keep winning basketball games and try to get to the Breslin Center in March?
Just keep playing.
Appreciate you, Lance, and appreciate everyone for watching us the last couple of days here on the Prep. 9 games in 2 days. We had 6 yesterday at Cass Tech. That day ended with a game that featured Cass Tech winning at home. Today at Renaissance, it ends with the home team winning. Yes, that's the right score. They dropped 93 points in a high school game. 93 points in 32 minutes. That's pretty darn good. Lance Stone led the way with 32. Jordan Sigmund, who's one of the best sophomores in America, also had 20. Excited to follow these guys the rest of the year. That's it for us, for Stick, for Chad, Reggie yesterday, and for our entire crew the last couple of days, led by our fearless leader, Alex Westfall. I'm contractually obligated to call him that. Evan Stockton saying thanks for watching. Go enjoy the rest of your holiday season and your new year, and we'll have plenty of high school basketball coming for you the next couple of months. Talk to you soon.